Hey there, one Matrix. Welcome to Educate. In this video, we'll be doing the primary economic activities, focusing specially on maize farming for 2026. Stay tuned. So basically, before we even get to how maize farming is done, we need to look at the places in South Africa where maize is farmed. Okay, so in South Africa, we have got a region known as the Maize Triangle. So we say it's known as the Maize Triangle. This Maize Triangle consists of three major provinces, which is the Northwest Province, the Free State Province, as well as in the Mpumalanga Province. So this triangle can be able to be visualized on this map, as you can see that this is a triangular region here. So in this triangular region, this is where most of the South Africa's maize is farmed. Okay, so we can look at other places as places that do not farm maize that much. Okay, if you go to Western Cape, or maybe you go to Eastern Cape, or you go to KZN, or you go to Limpopo, those places, they do farm maize, but they do not farm maize that much compared to the areas that are part of the maize triangle. So basically, when we look at where maize is farmed in South Africa, we are looking at this region here, which is the Northwest, which consists of the Northwest, which consists of part of Mpumalanga Province, as well as part of Free State Province as well. Okay, so let's just try to look at what factors in those locations actually favor the production of maize, because you might be wondering, Uti, why is most of South Africa's maize farmed at that particular place? And we have to look at that geographical location, and we have to try and analyze, Uti, what is it that we find at Northwest, or that we find at Mpumalanga, or what is it that we find at Free State Province that enables maize production to be easy or to be efficient compared to the other places. Okay, starting with the temperature. First of all, whenever you want to farm some maize, you need to have a moderate temperature. Means that you need to not have too much of a hot region, or you need to not have too much of a cold region. When you compare to other places, if you go to places such as KZN, it has got high average temperatures, so it is a very hot area or a very hot region, which makes it not much of a suitable place to be able to farm some maize. That is why KZN, we do not have that much maize being farmed there. If you go to maybe Western Cape, it is a very cold region, since it is very closer to the to the Atlantic Ocean. Of course, that is why it is experiencing colder conditions, and maize cannot be able to cope under such conditions. Maize can be able to cope under moderate temperatures. By moderate, it means that the temperatures are not that much high, or they are not that much low. So in other words, it is not that much of a hot region, and it is also not that much of a cold region. Okay, so in this region, in the maize triangle specifically, a part of Free State, part of Northwest, and part of Mpumalanga, these areas, which is known as the maize region or the maize triangle, they have got moderate temperatures throughout the entire year. And this moderate temperature that happens throughout the entire year, it allows the maize to be able to grow. Okay, but basically, it's not only maize that requires such temperatures. Even sugarcane sometimes requires moderate temperatures, but many other crops, or a variety of crops, they require moderate temperatures, including maize. That is why most of South Africa's maize is found in these places, which are part of the maize triangle. And then when we move to also the topography of the land, the maize triangle, it has got flat land. It is a flat area. Specifically, it's on top of a plateau. You guys already did a climatology. You understand that the areas that are inside South Africa, that like the inland areas, these areas that are inside the land of South Africa, okay, these areas have got a flat gradient. Okay, they've got it's a flat area. They've got a gentle gradient. Okay, they are not that much steep compared to when you go to the areas in the coastal regions. If you go to maybe KZN, or you go to Eastern Cape, you go to Western Cape, those are coastal areas, and they are found along the escarpment. Okay, they are not on a flat area. Okay, they're not flat areas. So basically, for you to be able to even make some crop production, you usually need some flat land. Basically, you usually need some flat land. Okay, so that is why most of the maize, is planted or it is farmed in an area that is flat, in an area that has got a gentle gradient. So basically, there is flat land. We can just say that there is flat land, or you can say that the gradient around the maize triangle, it is flat. Okay, the area is flat. The topography of the land is a flat land. It's not that much bumpy. It's not mountainous. It doesn't have all of those mountainous steep curves and all of that. All right, so there is flat land available in the areas within the maize triangle, and this is a suitable gradient for maize farming. Please do note here, grade 12, whenever you are answering questions, these are usually your 2 marks questions for your paragraph questions. If they can just say comment on the factors that favor maize production in South Africa. Whenever you want to answer such questions for 2 marks per point, right, it's 2 marks per point. And if it's a paragraph question, they usually give you 8 marks. You need to clearly state the cause and the effect. Okay, let's just try to look at these answers that I've already provided. What is the cause? What is the effect? Okay, so for the first point, I said that in the maize triangle, we have got some moderate temperatures throughout the year. This is the cause. All right. Now, what is the effect of those moderate temperatures? Or maybe we are trying to answer, since we have moderate temperatures, how does that affect or how does that favor maize production? That's how you give the effect. And you now say that the moderate temperature throughout the year, it allows for the growth of variety of crops, including maize. So what you have here at the beginning of your answer, it is a cause, right? This is a cause, or this is a factor that is affecting maize production. And then this is the effect of that factor. This is the effect of that factor. So whenever you answer geography questions, especially those 2 marks questions, give a cause, then an effect. The cause, you are trying to explain what factor is causing that effect. And then the effect, you're trying to explain the result. Even for the second answer that I provided for you here, guys, we say that there is flat land available in the maize triangle. That is the cause. That is the factor that we have here. Flat land. This is your cause. And what is the effect of having that flat land in the maize, in the areas within the maize triangle, is that the flat land is a suitable gradient. So you are going to qualify your answer and say that the flat land is a suitable gradient for what? For maize farming. So if you are only going to answer partially and you say that there is flat land available in South Africa, or maybe you just say that there's flat land in the maize triangle, so what? You need to tell us, how does that flat land affect maize production or maize farming in South Africa? And in this particular case, you need to explain, how does that flat land favor the production of maize in South Africa? So bear in mind, whenever you want to present your answers the correct way, you need to clearly state what is the cause, what is the effect. You need to explain what is causing something and what is the result of that. So that is the style that you use to be able to get all the marks and to be able to properly express and explain yourself during your exam. Okay, so further proceeding, we can look at other factors that are favoring maize production. If we look at the maize triangle, we have got most permanent rivers that are flowing in the eastern part of the country, which are ensuring stable water supply. Okay, so basically, you need to understand that within the maize triangle, it is slightly on the east side of South Africa, because Mpumalanga is more like on the east side of South Africa, right? So there are a lot of permanent rivers here. There are a lot of permanent rivers here on the eastern part of South Africa. All right. These permanent rivers are very important because they are the ones that are used to be able to irrigate the maize. Because for you to be able to grow some maize, you don't only require some sunlight and some whatever, you will require also some water. And where does the water come from? The water comes from the permanent rivers. The water comes from the perennial rivers that are found where? At the eastern part of the country. For example, in Mpumalanga, there is the Olifants River. The Olifants River, it crosses through Mpumalanga, and it's a reliable water supply, and that can be able to be used. And also we have many rivers. Okay, there's the Olifants River, there is Tugela River, there is Vau River. All of those rivers, they can be able to supply water, or they are the ones that are supplying water to the areas in the Maize Triangle, which is actually ensuring that in the Maize Triangle, or in these areas where maize is mostly farmed, there is more maize production because we have got enough water to be able to do what? To be able to irrigate, to be able to water our crops. So the cause here is the permanent rivers. So we have got more permanent rivers in the eastern part of the country. And what is the effect of having these permanent rivers? Or since we have more permanent rivers, so what? These permanent rivers, how do they affect maize production? They ensure some stable water supply. You can say it's a stable water supply for irrigation purposes, because for us to be able to farm some maize, we need to irrigate, we need to use some water to be able to feed our maize, of course. So whenever you answer, remember you give the cause and then effect. And one more factor that I've put up here, it is that affects a maize production. It is the storage dams. Okay, since we say that there are more permanent rivers in the eastern part of the country, within a river, you can be able to build a dam, or let me just say, from a river, you can be able to build a dam. All right. So many of the storage dams are built along these river channels or these permanent rivers, and these storage dams, they still ensure that there is a storage of water for irrigation purposes still. All right. So when you explain these 2 points, do not mix them up. That's one more thing. In geography, try to explain one point, give one cause, give one effect. Don't clump the answers. If you just say that there is more permanent rivers and storage dams ensuring a say water supply that is reliable, that will be actually giving you only 2 marks instead of 4 marks. In geography, you explain one cause, one effect. So do not try to mix these 2 points. Don't say that we have got more permanent rivers and storage dams. No, not within one sentence at least. Okay, try to make one sentence to consist of one cause and one effect, grades of learners. Okay, so here, when we say that there are many storage dams that are built along these rivers, this is a cause. This is one independent cause. There are many storage dams that are being built along some river channels, and these dams, these storage dams, their function, it is to store water, right? They store water. And what is the effect of that water, and how does it affect the maize production? The water is used for irrigation. That's your effect there. So it is very, very important for you to mention the cause and an effect. I repeat again, always mention the cause and an effect. Do not clump the answers whenever you're answering the questions. Try to make sure that each and every point that you are going to write in your paragraph is, if it's a paragraph of eight marks, for example, 8 lines, you need to give one cause, one effect that is equivalent to 2 marks per point. All right. So one more cause here one more factor that favors the production of maize in South Africa is that there is a warm Mozambique current along the east coast. Therefore, the areas will not have any frost or rainfall. Okay, so they won't have any frost or rainfall. Basically, if you can see that the maize triangle, if you can see its distribution, is more like on the eastern side of South Africa. These places, the Mpumalanga province, the Northwest, and the Free State, they are not that much far away from the warm Mozambique current. You already know that here we have got the Indian Ocean, right? That's what you learned in your climatology. So the Indian Ocean has got it has got some warm Mozambique current. And the warm Mozambique current, it is just found here along the east coast. This warm Mozambique current, its effect is that it actually results in subsequently higher temperatures in these regions, such as KZN, such as Swaziland, regions such as parts of Mpumalanga, and parts of Free State and Lesotho as well. Okay, so these areas, all of them, they are receiving warmer temperatures, grade 12. And these warmer temperatures, they are from the what? They are from the warm Mozambique current. So the warm Mozambique current, it has got some effect on the areas such as Mpumalanga, such as Free State. And it has got some effect on the areas in the maize triangle. That is why there is no frost in Mpumalanga. You will never see frost in Mpumalanga, okay? You will never see snow in Mpumalanga. There was only snow back then in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, when I was still young. In 2023, that's when I saw snow for the first time. And that was a major geographic event. Okay, but basically, in simple terms, these areas, in average, they do not receive any snow. They do not receive what? They do not receive any snow. So we already know that the conditions for maize to grow. I said that they shouldn't be too much cold, grade 12, and they shouldn't be too much hot. And once the formation of frost begins, it means that it is very, very, very it is very cold in that area. So in this case, we can say that these areas will never experience such conditions, and they will always have enough rainfall, okay, because of this warm Mozambique current. Because remember, the warm Mozambique current, it is consisting of warm moist air, right? So it also results in rainfall that is up to 1000 millimeter per year or more. So there is enough rainfall and there is good temperatures because there is no frost that forms. There is no frost that forms, and maize can be able to grow there effectively. That is why most of South Africa's maize is farmed within the maize triangle. But as much as we can have these factors that are favoring the production of maize, we do have factors that hinder the production of maize. Let us look at some of them. So, if we look at South Africa as a whole, what actually causes maize production to be less in other areas? Because the factors that favor maize production, most of them, they are found here at the maize triangle, because the maize triangle is it is that area where most of South Africa's maize is farmed. So, what factors hinder the production of maize in South Africa? All right, South Africa as a whole, it is a relatively dry country. So we know that in South Africa, 3/4 of the land or 3/4 of the country are receiving an annual rainfall below 500 millimeter. So in general, we can say that South Africa is a dry country. Not that each and every area in South Africa is dry, not really. Some areas, they are quite moist, they are quite wet, they do have good average rainfall, but relatively, when we look at South Africa as a whole, it is relatively a dry country. So most of the provinces, such as your Western Cape, your Northern Cape, your Limpopo, mostly those provinces, your Eastern Cape, these provinces, they are usually very dry. If you go to Limpopo, it's very extremely hot and it is very dry as well. All right, and it is receiving rainfall that is below 500 millimeter, and maize requires at least around 1000 millimeter of rainfall average in a year so that it can be able to grow. So these factors, they hinder maize production in South Africa as a whole. All right. And when you look at another one, there is infertile soil. Most of South Africa's soil, it is still infertile, or it is infertile, by the way. If you go to most of their regions, they do not have fertile soil. What usually causes infertile soil in most regions in South Africa? It is soil erosion. Okay, soil erosion. So basically, most of South Africa's parts, or most of South Africa's land, um, it is subjected to soil erosion, okay, because of a steep slope. For example, if you look at the side view of South Africa's land, remember, is something like this, right? And we've got some oceans on this side. We know that in South Africa's land, most of the land, it is found on the escarpment. Most of the South Africa's provinces, they are somehow found on the escarpment. All right. So we can just say that most of them, they have got steep slopes. Most areas in South Africa have got steeper slopes. That is why the flatter gradients are only found around the maize triangle. Otherwise, if you go out of this maize triangle, the steep slopes will now be dominating. So those steep slopes, they usually result in soil erosion. So this infertile soil will actually they will hinder the maize production. Okay, they will hinder the maize production. In this case, I mentioned the cause of cause, which is the infertile soil due to soil erosion, right? Now we are going to further explain in your answer to say that maize cannot be able to grow on steeper areas, or you can be able to mention that maize will require fertile soil or something like that. You have to try to mention what is the effect of this cause that I'm giving. It's your task, by the way. And then now, let's look at one other factor. Most of the farmers, they lack subsidy. Okay, most farmers, they lack subsidy. And this actually leads to cheaper imports from other countries with subsidies from their farmers. What does this mean? A subsidy, you have learned in grade 11 that it is just financial support that is offered by the government or by some organizations so that they can reduce the costs of production of something. For example, right now, the price of maize in South Africa is high. Basically, we are facing inflation in the food prices in South Africa. All right. Why are we facing inflation? Is because a part there are less organizations that are subsiding the farmers. There are less organizations that are giving the farmers financial support. That is why the farmers, they actually end up a they end up putting like higher prices on the maize that they are producing. Why do they put some higher prices on their maize? Because they do not have enough financial support. We are talking about money, the funds to be able to farm. Okay, because basically, guys, we need to know that farming is not an easy thing to do, especially maize farming. I myself, I'm from a farming background. I can tell you from experience that for you to be able to farm maize effectively, you require a lot of equipment, you require a lot of fertilizers, you require a lot of support, right? And if the government or if the organizations are not giving enough subsidies or they are not giving enough support to the farmers, then the farmers will end up making the maize to be expensive. That is why food costs are highly expensive. Is part of that lack of subsidies. So, how does this affect a maize production, or how does this hinder maize production? This actually leads to cheaper imports. Okay, this leads to what? To cheaper imports from other countries. Why do I say it's cheaper imports from other countries? You know, other countries, their farmers are subsidized or they are supported financially, so they do not have to have higher prices. Let me just make a different example. If you look at, let's just say you want to start your own clothing brand in South Africa, and then we have got a company in China that is making a lot of clothes. That company in China is supported by its government to make more clothes and more clothes and more clothes and sell them at a cheaper price to South Africa. But when I, because you are inside South Africa and you are creating your own clothing brand, you don't have anyone to support you. So you spend all the costs on your own. You go and buy the fabric, you go and pay the workers to be able to make the clothes and whatnot. And that is very expensive. That's why you have to charge a higher price on your clothes. But the imports from China, they are going to be very, 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 very cheap. Why are the imports from China being cheap? It is because they have been subsidized. Their government has given them financial support, so they don't have to charge higher prices anymore because they have enough money from their government, of course, or they also have organizations that are supporting them. Okay. So whenever you hear that something is cheap, just know that there is either a cheap labor, means that there are people who have been paid less, or they've been an organization that is supported financially. Otherwise, if there is no organization that supports financial, you would have to earn all the profits from your production. And the cost to produce something, it is very expensive, grade 12, to be able to produce something, especially farming is very expensive. It needs to be maintained. You need some pesticides. If there are insects, you need some pesticides. And if you don't get enough support from organizations, then it means you're on your own. You have to charge a higher price for maize, hence leading to hence being a factor causing inflation in South Africa as well. And when we look also at other factors that hinder maize production, it is the prevalence of pests and insects as well. So as I've already said, that maize farming is very difficult. Okay, it is difficult in a way that we have got pests and insects that usually attack the maize. All right, so this is an example of an image showing an insect that is found inside the maize. It is enjoying the maize, but now we want the maize to be able to make some mealie meal, to be able to make some maize products. and that is a problem. Okay, so there is a lot of pests and insects in South Africa. So basically, that will have to increase, the costs. You write the effect here on your own, okay? That will have to increase the costs to be able to buy some pesticides. So if you are a farmer and you do not have enough support to be able to buy some pesticides to be able to kill these pests are going to destroy your crop produce, and you're going to have some less maize. And if you've got less maize, that's going to be very expensive, by the way, because you do not have enough pest pest prevention methods. Okay, so these are some of the factors that causes maize production to have a bit of friction and to have a bit of a slowness in its operations. But nonetheless, maize contributes significantly to the economy of South Africa. Maize has got a very large market because it is a staple food for many South Africans. As you know, I've been mentioning pap, I've been mentioning uphuthu all along. Basically, the staple food and the staple crop, basically, the staple crop for South Africa is maize. In fact, the staple crop for most Africa's regions, it is maize, because usually we eat pap. The pap is the staple food of South Africa. So basically, maize can be considered a staple crop, or you can say it's a staple food. It means that we usually eat maize products the most. If you go to an African household right now, you're gonna find them eating pap, or they are eating uphuthu, or they are eating something that has got some maize. So it has got a large market. You will never hear people saying, "Uti, now we want to buy rice and we don't want to buy some mealie meal." No, people will always need mealie meal because they know that pap is strong. And that's our beliefs as Africans, of course. And it always makes us strong, of course. So it has got a large market. It has got more people that are demanding it, more customers. You will never be able you will never lack if you are in maize production, because the maize mill companies, they need the maize and they will crush it and crush it and crush it to make some maize meal. The mealie meal or the maize meal will now be used to be able to make sure that you eat your pap and you'll be able to buy some maize meal. And the maize meal prices are very high, by the way. And I've been observing over the years they keep on inflating because of certain factors. There is less maize in South Africa that is being farmed because of lack of support. But overall, maize does contribute to the economy because more people buy it. So it does have an economic impact. And also, if we look at maize, maize is used in production of multiple food products. Not only does maize get consumed on its own, no, maize can be used in production of products such as your beer, your cheese spreads, your coffee, and many other products. So these products they rely on maize. Remember that maize can be treated as a raw material because it is being extracted from the ground. It is part of the primary sector. Okay, maize farming is a primary economic activity. So basically, this maize can be able to be used as a raw material, and it can be processed to make value added goods. Value added goods such as beer, such as cheese spreads, and such as coffee, and also your mealie meal, the one that you are using to eat your pap, of course, that is also a product of maize. Okay, so the maize is used in producing multiple food products. If we did not have beer in South Africa, South Africa's economy will definitely be down the drain right now because there is no beer, right? Yes, because most people are there, they are growing and they are buying a lot of beer and all of that, and they are benefiting the South Africa's economy. Okay, and that beer that they are consuming, that cheese that you are buying and you are spreading it on your bread each and every morning before you go to school, and that coffee that you are eating whenever you want to a cross night or something like that, all of it, it comes from the ingredient there is maize. Right, so maize, it is used in production of multiple food products, and these food products, they actually strengthen the economy, or because they are the ones that are driving economic growth in South Africa. Hence, I say that we need to respect the maize farmers and the people in the primary sector the most, because those ones, they are the ones that are driving this entire economy in their hands. Because if the farmers would stop farming, then we would be crying right now, because every other product that you can see, whether it's your flour or your what or your what or your what, all of it, it came from some farm product. Hence, we need to respect our farmers and support them as well. And also, the contribution of maize to the economy, one more, it provides employment for rural communities. All right. This one is very important. It's an important economic contribution. All right. So basically, people get jobs. Since we are talking about maize production, we need people to be able to farm the maize. We need people to be able to assemble the irrigation system so that the maize can be watered and everything like that. So it provides employment for such people. They will get some jobs, and that would definitely be a benefit to the economy as well. And lastly, maize is also consumes products from other industries. As much as maize is being used as an ingredient in most of the food products, maize also uses other products from other industries. So whenever you are farming maize, maybe your soil does not have enough nutrients. Maybe your soil is not that much fertile, so you would have to buy some fertilizers. All right. So fertilizer companies, or companies that are making irrigation equipment, your companies that are selling your your hose, the companies that are selling your herbicides and your pesticides, the products that you use to be able to kill the pests, your companies that are selling your fuel, the fuel that you use to be able to transport your maize from one place to another. All of those industries, they do contribute to maize farming. So if we have got more maize farmers in South Africa, it means that the fertilizer companies will have more growth economically, all right? Because we have to buy more fertilizers to make sure that our maize grows and it produces as much maximum yield as possible. Because the whole purpose here is to have more maize being produced in the country. So we would have to buy more fertilizers. We would have to buy more irrigation equipment, irrigation systems such as your taps and your pipes and your all of those things that are sprinkling water for your maize to grow effectively and efficiently as well. We would have to buy more herbicides. Herbicides, we're talking about those products that are used to kill the pests. Remember, the pests and the insects, they are the ones that are destroying maize. They are one of the factors that are hindering maize production. So maize, the fact that maize consumes the products from other industries, it makes it easier to grow those industries as well. And that is an economic advantage. Otherwise, if there was no maize production, then the fertilizer companies will cry, because the fertilizer companies, they want their products to be bought by the maize farmers. Okay, so if we were to remove every maize farm in South Africa, fertilizer companies will stop working. The irrigation companies, the companies that are making your irrigation systems and your farming equipment and all of that, they will also stop functioning, because the farming equipment that they are making it for the maize farmers. Hence, we say that these industries, they relate quite a lot with one another. And lastly, as an economic advantage, maize does earn valuable foreign exchange through the export to the outside markets. So basically, maize is not only marketed domestically, maize is not only sold in South Africa, but maize is sold to other countries. So basically, whenever we are selling maize to other countries, we do get foreign exchange, which is just basically that amount that we earn whenever we export some products to other countries. Maybe if South Africa was to sell some maize to Mozambique, for example, it would earn some foreign exchange, because Mozambique will be buying with their own different currency. Okay, if we were to sell our maize to Italy, for example, Italy will be able to use its currency. If we were to buy some maize from, let's just say, if we were to sell some maize or export our maize to USA would have to buy the maize from us using United States dollars. So that foreign exchange, it does bring quite a bigger benefit to the economy of South Africa. Hence why maize production still acts as one of the most important primary activities that is contributing significantly to the economy of South Africa. Although we have factors that are hindering it, but those factors can eventually be fixed if we have got enough support to the farmers and we are able to give more attention to them as well. So thank you so much for watching this wonderful video, Great Tales. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends also. Stay tuned.